Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Kinnett Stadium as we are making our soccer debut here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We have got a good match tonight between Columbus United FC taking on the New Orleans Jesters. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. I am Richard Holdrige here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Thrip Behringer and I did the pregame show earlier today on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We had one of the owners, J.D. Hester, on, and legendary coach Brett Teach of Columbus United. As this is going to be a battle between two teams that have faced off against each other before, ending in a 3-3 draw down in New Orleans. Columbus United FC comes into this match with 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, in 5th place in the Gulf Coast Sunshine Conference. And the New Orleans Jesters come into this match 2 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses. So they are behind in the standings in 6th place. So this is going to be a key match. Columbus comes into this match with 8 points. New Orleans comes in with 7. The winner could actually catapult Tallahassee right now in 4th place because they stand with 8 points right now. This is the 3rd home match for Columbus United FC. They are currently 2-0 at home. They did have a match last Wednesday here at Kinnett Stadium. It was Ted Lasso night, and they got the victory over Pensacola FC. That was the second time they played them in a 2-week span. But the whole city is talking about the home opener, June the 1st. And what a performance by Columbus United, getting the win over Naples United FC 2-0 in front of over 2,000 fans here at Kinnett Stadium. And we hope to have a big crowd as they are honoring soccer dads tonight in honor of Father's Day weekend. And the first 500 fans will receive a yellow and red card. Oh, those come in handy when you discipline your kids. Taking a joke. Red card, pretty much you're out. Yellow is a warning. We could have fun with that as dads. But the first 500 fans, courtesy of tonight's presenting sponsor for Columbus United, Sanophis. But here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, this broadcast is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. Out of Opelika. Get ready to smile as we're hoping to be in their showroom to do another live show. Also, we've had a very busy weekend in sports. Congratulations to the Columbus Lions, AIF champions last night, defeating Corpus Christi 46-20. Thrip Behringer, Rick Beach, and myself were on the broadcast for that. And we do have a score final as Fountain City FC was playing in the UPSL Championship down at Otis Spencer Stadium earlier today at 4 p.m. However, they did fall in the championship 2-1. But congratulations to Fountain City FC on a fantastic season as we get ready for soccer matchups here in the National Premier Soccer League between 2 talented teams as they are just finishing up their warm-ups. We will have the presentation of the coaches and the reserves and the pageantry of announcing the starting lineups where the players come on out on the field right at middle field with the referees, and they'll have the lineups with the national anthem. Once the players are lined up at midfield, and then they'll be introduced, and the dream team that actually will be with the players will return to the tunnel. And then kickoff will be approximately 7:15 tonight here at Kinnett Stadium. And then after the match, Autograph Alley will be featured down on that front row where the players will bring out their Sharpies and they will sign autographs. We hope to have a big crowd here at Kinnett Stadium for this matchup as we are approximately 10 minutes from them getting the festivities going. Like I mentioned, kickoff will be at 7:15 for this matchup between Columbus United FC and the New Orleans Jesters. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll have more pregame show here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. It's Richard Holdrige here on the call And we'll be back as we are presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. Back in a moment.
Are you ready to save big on a new GMC?
At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, you can own one of the best-selling vehicles in the USA. The GMC Sierra pickup is discounted up to $14,500 off. The roomy and comfortable GMC Terrains are up to $8,250 off. And the GMC Acadias with 3 spacious rows and seating for 7, discounted up to $8,000 off. At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika,
Get ready to smile. Are you ready to save big on a new GMC?
at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, you can own one of the best-selling vehicles in the USA. The GMC Sierra pickup is discounted up to $14,500 off. The roomy and comfortable GMC Terrains are up to $8,250 off. And the GMC Acadias with 3 spacious rows and seating for 7, discounted up to $8,000 off. At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika,
Get ready to smile.
We love being able to go to the different high school, colleges, middle schools to live broadcast sporting events around the area. Georgia Alabama Sports Live appreciates all the fan support, but without a presenting sponsor like Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC in Opelika, none of this would be possible. So we want to say thank you so much. Go to glennsmith.com. That is right, glennsmith.com. See all the inventory and see why people always say, get ready to smile. Thanks, everyone, and thank you to Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC for being our presenting sponsor.
Back here at Cadet Stadium, it's Georgia Alabama Sports Live. It's Columbus United FC as we are making our soccer debut here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Richard Holdrige here on the broadcast, and I am privileged to bring you the play-by-play as I spent 2 seasons as the play-by-play announcer for the Columbus Rapids, the indoor soccer team that called the Fountain City their home from 2001 to 2021 to 2023. And then I also called several Columbus State women's soccer games, including a thrilling Elite Eight match where they punched their ticket to the Final Four in 2022. I had the privilege to call that game on Cougar TV, the Peach Belt Network. And then about a month ago, I called soccer all classifications of the GIAA championships, 1A all the way to 3A. I didn't call the 4A with Pacelli in both of those, but I did call all the games on Saturday, 1A to 3A for the GIAA.TV. Want to thank Brett Taylor for giving me that opportunity as I called it alongside legendary coach Rhett Farmer. We had a great time calling those games. And so my soccer play-by-play experience goes all the way back to my days playing at an NAIA school. Well, not playing, but I was calling soccer for Freed-Hardeman University on the radio station. And that's where I got my start. And it's exciting if you don't know the rules of soccer. Well, obviously, it's much different than the indoor game if you happen to catch a Columbus Rapids game. And if this is your first time out seeing the outdoor game played at the minor league level. I mean, like J.D. Hester, the owner, like Coach Brett Teach said, that this is the equivalent of single-A baseball as you have different classifications for the majors, which would be Major League Soccer, and then the lower tiers like Atlanta United 2 would be like AAA baseball. But we also have the NPSL, which would be the equivalent of single A in the minors. And so they play soccer all over the country. As we are getting hyped up, Atlanta's going to be hosting World Cup matches in 2026. And we're just excited about soccer. We do have several players from the Columbus Blue Devils on Columbus United FC that were part of that state championship team. And so we're just excited that they get to be a part of this. But right now, going to be giving you the starting lineups here for Columbus United FC. The goalkeeper, he's been one of the hottest goalkeepers in the Gulf Coast Sunshine Conference. Alfie Rule is in at goalie. Your forward is Carter Berg. Midfielders, Evans DePaul, Jordy Santana, Rafa Katwaba, who is the second goal scorer on the team. The leading goal scorer is Javi Zato with 2 goals. And then the back line, Emil Kirsch, Damian Dominguez, Bruno Garcia, and Mohamed Tucker, who also he has that connection with Coach Brett Teach. He played at VCU, which Coach Brett Teach has coached at the collegiate level. He's also coached at Auburn University of Montgomery, where the goalkeeper, Alfie Rule, went to college. So that is the lineup. And then for the New Orleans Jesters, in at goalie is Juan Pablo Chavez. The forwards are Tom Preston, Roberto Lagoa. Your midfielders are Jair Artia, Russell Brown, Eric Gunera, Paul Richard, and then the back line, Juan Pablo Gonzalez, Joaquin Suarez, Roberto Rangel, Sebastian Pinto, and Victor Mayrink. Like we mentioned, Columbus in 5th place. They are 2-2-2. New Orleans is 2-3-1, currently in 6th place in the Gulf Coast Sunshine Conference, as we are moments away from kickoff here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. This soccer match is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. And a reminder, in case you are watching soccer for the very first time, the clock is going to start from 0 to 45. There will be no breaks. If there is an injury, they will have injury time. So we are going to be running a full 45 minutes and some change without a commercial break. And then we'll go to halftime, and then we'll play the remaining 90. And if there is extra time, they'll play, and the PA announcer will make an announcement that there will be allotted time that will be added after 90. But I tell you what, the last game that I called for soccer in the GIAA.TV went to penalty kicks. I mean, we're hoping for an exciting match. We want Columbus United FC to come out victorious and remain unbeaten at home. But get ready for some exciting soccer. I know that fans want to come out and see a great matchup. And really, these teams in the Gulf Coast Sunshine Conference are evenly matched. And so you're going to have 2-0, 2-1, 1-0. It's going to be that close of a match because of the talent level here in the Gulf Coast Sunshine Conference. As we do have a crowd, there's still plenty of tickets available. Come on out to Kinnett Stadium to check out this soccer match between Columbus United FC and the New Orleans Jesters. And the sun has gone down over the trees, so it's not going to be as hot as it was earlier today when we did the pregame show. It felt like it was in the upper 90s, but it should cool down a little bit. I mean, they got the food trucks out here. They've got the Gatorade and the water bottles. I mean, they're ready to go. And so we're here to see just an incredible soccer match. I want to talk about some of the upcoming matches coming up, as next week it is going to be Military Night as Columbus United FC is taking on Tallahassee. So come on out, and they do have a promo code. If you use the promo code Unite for Troops, active and retired military will get a free ticket to the match. That is next week against Tallahassee FC here at Kinnett Stadium. That is Military Night. And then they will wrap up the season on June the 29th. And that will be the home finale in the regular season, year one, for Columbus United FC. Like we mentioned, they are managed by legendary soccer manager Brett Teach with over 40 years of soccer experience, mainly at the collegiate level. He has coached at Georgia State. He's coached at Auburn University in Montgomery. He's coached at VCU up in Richmond, Virginia. And he has just coached at the NCAA level, the NAIA level, and he brings just knowledge, a wealth of knowledge and years of experience to the match. And we are excited about this one. We're going to go and take another break, and when we come back, we are moments away from kickoff here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. Get ready to smile. It's a soccer match coming up between Columbus United FC and the New Orleans Jesters right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Are you ready to save big on a new GMC?
At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, you can own one of the best-selling vehicles in the USA. The GMC Sierra pickup is discounted up to $14,500 off. The roomy and comfortable GMC Terrains are up to $8,250 off. And the GMC Acadias with 3 spacious rows and seating for 7, discounted up to $8,000 off. At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika,
Get ready to smile.
We love being able to go to the different high school, colleges, middle schools to live broadcast sporting events around the area. Georgia Alabama Sports Live appreciates all the fan support, but without a presenting sponsor like Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC in Opelika, none of this would be possible. So we want to say thank you so much. Go to glennsmith.com. That is right, glennsmith.com. See all the inventory and see why people always say, get ready to smile. Thanks, everyone, and thank you to Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC for being our presenting sponsor.
Are you ready to save big on a new GMC?
at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, you can own one of the best-selling vehicles in the USA. The GMC Sierra pickup is discounted up to $14,500 off. The roomy and comfortable GMC Terrains are up to $8,250 off. And the GMC Acadias with 3 spacious rows.
Back here at Kennett Stadium, Georgia Alabama Sports Live. It's Columbus United FC. It's the New Orleans Jesters, and as you can see, they got the players on the field, the pageantry, the welcoming of the starters, along with the dream team. Where they got soccer players at the youth level that hold hands side by side with the starters. This has been a tradition that dates back to the MLS, the Premier League, the World Cup. I mean, you see this everywhere, and that is great to see as we got ready for this matchup. New Orleans is in their all-green unis with stripes, and Columbus United wearing their all-red uniforms. So we are ready to go as the winner of this match should position themselves, possibly could take 4th place in the Gulf Coast Sunshine Conference. But still a lot of season to go as we are going to have the national anthem, and then we should be kicking off approximately a couple of minutes after the anthem here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. So we're going to go ahead and let them play the anthem. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back with kickoff here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Are you ready to save big on a new GMC?
At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, you can own one of the best-selling vehicles in the USA. The GMC Sierra pickup is discounted up to $14,500 off. The roomy and comfortable GMC Terrains are up to $8,250 off. And the GMC Acadias with 3 spacious rows and seating for 7, discounted up to $8,000 off. At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika,
Get ready to smile. Are you ready to save big on a new GMC?
at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, you can own one of the best-selling vehicles in the USA. The GMC Sierra pickup is discounted up to $14,500 off. The roomy and comfortable GMC Terrains are up to $8,250 off. And the GMC Acadias with 3 spacious rows and seating for 7, discounted up to $8,000 off. At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika,
Get ready to smile.
That is a great sight to see. The dream team just running off the field. Those young soccer players that play at all the youth levels in the area, like Concord Fire South, CYSC, Harris County Soccer, Sousa, Auburn Soccer. It has just been great. As a soccer dad myself, just seeing my youngest play at CYSC, and they really build up soccer in this area, as we do have 3 outdoor soccer teams. Fountain City FC over in the UPSL did fall in the championship 2-1 earlier today. Also, Columbus Elite FC, also a member of the UPSL. As the starters are taking the field, as we are moments away from kickoff here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, as this soccer match presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. Richard Holdrige back on the call once again to call another soccer match. And the PA announcer, which he sounds familiar. I was talking to Chris, our producer. He does sound like the PA announcer for high school football Thursdays and Fridays here at Kinnett Stadium. We have called several Georgia Alabama Sports Live games here at Kinnett, including Shaw, Northside, Harris County. So this is a great venue, and we want to thank Jeff Battles, the athletic director for the Muskogee County School District, for opening the doors and allowing Columbus United FC to call Kinnett Stadium their home, because this is owned by the Muskogee County School District, and he was out putting the signage, and we are months away from high school football. Cannot wait to live stream games here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and we are ready to go as the starters in the huddles, ready to move into position and ready for kickoff here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. History made here at Georgia Alabama Sports Live as the first ever soccer match that we have called out. I was talking to Chris. I mean, the scoreboard looks amazing. I mean, this is something new that we have put up. It's going to be in the upper right of your screen. As the PA announcer is announcing the starters. The leading goal scorer for Columbus United is Javi Zato, followed by Rafa Kawata. As they both have 2 goals on the season, Columbus United comes into this game 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, and they are 2-0 at home. New Orleans, 2 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. And this is the second time these 2 teams have faced off. The first time was down in New Orleans, where it ended in a 3-3 draw. Both teams were awarded a point. Columbus United comes into this match with 8 points. New Orleans with 7. As Columbus is in 5th place, New Orleans is in 6th. And we are underway, and kicking it off is Ricardo Gomez. No players in the vicinity. Back, the goalkeeper touches the ball first, Affy Rule, and he passes it over to that back line, Dominion Dominguez. That back line is solid for Columbus United. Oh, what a header. Up in position to Zato on that far side. It goes out of play. It will be the first throw-in of the match. A big shout out to Tony Reese from WTVM. He is over in that corner getting some footage for the sports highlights tonight on WTVM. Dominguez. Just trying to be patient with it. He's trying to set up a play. That's his teammate Bruno Garcia. Back all the way to the other side of the field to Dominguez. And now back to the goalkeeper. They're going to try to reset the play. They're not going to be hard to press, as we've only played 1 minute so far here in the match. Dominguez back out to Garcia. Oh, good dribble. Good touch on that ball. That back line has just been putting touches on the ball. And now back over to Dapa, over to the near side. is Lucas Migon, and back over to that back line. Lucas Migon, also known as Tiki, he has a nickname, very creative nickname for Columbus United. Oh, it's stopped by New Orleans, and now they get the possession. Here comes New Orleans on the press. And that's going to stay in play. A nice header. Another header. Oh, forward header right to the center back. And here comes Columbus United on the attack. Could we get our first shot attempt? And it's blocked by New Orleans, and it sails out of play. Good defense by the Jesters. It's going to be a throw-in coming up for Columbus United. It's going to be out of play. Migon. Oh, he gets tripped up. Do they call a foul? They're going to let him play on? They're going to let him play on. Dapa with it. Kicks it back to Dapa. Here comes the attack. There's a pass. Near side. Deflected out of play by Eric Gunera. And that's going to be our first corner kick of the game for Columbus United. And taking this corner is going to be number 17. That was a nice deflection out of play and another throw in. That looks like it's going to be another throw-in for New Orleans. Back out to the goalkeeper. Oh, a nice header by Dominguez. And it goes out of play, and another throw-in coming up for New Orleans. We're here in the 4th minute here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Please like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Oh, that was dangerous territory for New Orleans, and we might have a breakaway, and the goalkeeper got to get there. He gets, just off the mark. As Rule was racing to it, he was out of the goal box. Did he deflect it? Or are we going to have a corner coming up for New Orleans? And that looks like it will be a corner kick coming up for the Jesters. And Ricardo Gomez is going to take this corner. That was deflected by Columbus United. As United building the wall. Kick sails in the box. Header. Saved by Rafey. What a save. That was some heavy traffic in the box. And Alfie Rule is going to roll it over to Dominguez. Back to the goalkeeper. He is out of the box. And now let's see if Columbus United wants to press. Dominguez takes it near side, a couple of dribbles. Oh, a nice pass over to Migon. Migon double teamed. Oh, and here comes a breakaway. Dapa. Here comes Carter Berg into the box. There's a shot and a deflection by Pablo Chavez, and it's going to be another corner coming up for Columbus. That might have been the best scoring opportunity for Columbus United early on in the match. And Emil Skirsch is going to take this corner. The Jesters building the wall. The right kick into the box and sails out of play. Good defensive play by the Jesters. And it sails all the way to that back line. And Mohamed Tucker the VCU alum, gets a touch on the ball. And that sails right to the goalkeeper, Chavez. And he just kicks it out of there. And let's see New Orleans. Let's see if they got numbers. Pass over to Brown. Russell Brown getting chased down by Dominguez. What a play by Dominguez. Staying with him step for step. And that is going to be another corner kick. So both teams with 2 corners apiece. Corners will lead to scoring opportunities, so Columbus has got to be careful, especially if a corner sails into the box. And this is going to be a left-footed strike on the corner. So it is going to curl to the right. It's in the box. Header just off the mark, and I believe from this angle it looked like it was deflected off Columbus United. That's going to be another corner coming up for the Jesters. As we are approaching the 8th minute of the first half here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Scoreless. Corner kick, header in the box. Cleared out by Columbus United. And now they have numbers. United can just settle down in the box. Catois, one of the top goal scorers. Over to that near side. There's a shot and a save by Chavez. There's some high drama early on in the match. Trying to get a number on that player that looked like Mohamed Tucker. Came all the way from that back line to try to get a goal opportunity. As that sails out of play, it's going to be a throw-in coming up for United. We want to wish all the fathers out there happy Father's Day, as this is Soccer Dad's Night. First 500 fans get a red card and a yellow card. Dominguez, almost broken up, but coming up with it is Skirsch. Back over to Catois. Trying to play it in the box. Good touch. Being challenged by Sinclair. Looking for the cross. And New Orleans takes possession. Here comes New Orleans. Sheldon Green. Over to Brown. Brown for the cross. That got deflected. And Columbus United gets the possession. They got nothing but red jerseys on that middle of the field. Dafa back over. Oh, a nice pass to Catois. Catois in the middle of the field. Trying to regroup. Over to that far side. Shot attempt. Saved by Chavez. Another shot on goal for Columbus United. That is their second of the match as we has approached the 10th minute here in the first half. Here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Richard Holdrige on the broadcast. Glad to be here on this Saturday evening as the sun actually in the clouds. It was in the clouds. The sun has not gone down just yet. But once it does, it should cool off here. And I know that heat will be a factor in this match, and let's see if Coach Teach will utilize his subs, as they did play a match on Wednesday. And that could be a factor too, as they defeated Pensacola on Ted Lasso night. Very creative with their promotions. Catois, Allen, it's broken up by New Orleans. Still in play. Columbus United stays with it. Over to Santana. Near side. Over to Migon. Doubled. And over to that back line is Dominguez. Well, Columbus United getting good touches on the ball. Well, that back line has really been doing some work. But here comes a breakaway for New Orleans, but they don't have the numbers. That's in the middle of the box, and it goes right to the goalkeeper. New Orleans tried to take advantage of a turnover, but they couldn't get the numbers because that back line for Columbus United has been solid. They have been solid all season. And one thing I've noticed about that back line is they have gotten a lot of touches in this match early on. As Dominguez over to Migon, back to Dominguez. Migon, also known as Tiki. Probably start calling him that. Dominguez is going to try to push it up. He's at midfield, over to Tiki. Tiki, a nice pass inside. Over to Catois. Oh, it gets taken down as Skirch, and that is no call on that. The refs are letting them play, although they have been physical in this league. And another turnover, a breakaway. Catois in the middle of the field. Oh, and it's broken up by New Orleans. And New Orleans ends up regrouping and gaining possession. Over to Preston. Near side, Green. Green being challenged. Drops it to the back line. Artia. Back over to Artia, near side. Just playing keep away. We are in the 13th minute here in the first half, as this match is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. Remember, no commercial breaks, as we will play a full 45 with possible extra time if we have injuries. And the PA announcer will announce if there is extra time after 45. Here comes Columbus United with an opportunity. Can they stay with it? That's Carter Berg, and he is going to get a throw in. Carter Berg listed as a striker, a forward. Coach Teach does have a lot of midfielders that will play midfield to try to give the defense help. And trying to save it, but that's going to be probably going to be a goal kick. And that is exactly what it is. We'll have a goal kick coming up for New Orleans. And that goes out of play. And that's going to be a throw-in coming up for Columbus United. Taking this throw-in is Tiki. Back over to Garcia. Garcia with a touch. Over to Santana. Tiki near side. Back over to Santana. Good passing by Columbus United. They want to try to set up their offense. There's a possibility for a give and go right there. I thought that Jordy Santana had the open lane, but Columbus United missed an opportunity there. And that goes out of play off of Carter Berg. So I was looking down the roster for Columbus United. They play with 30 players, so they have a new starting lineup just about every match. They have a lot of depth on their team, including some local talented players. One in particular that I recognize on the roster, the former Pacelli Viking and Columbus Rapid, Braden Wood, who played collegiate soccer at the University of Montevallo, and a local soccer player here in Columbus who played for the Pacelli Vikings. That goes out of play. That's going to be a throw-in coming up for New Orleans. The next home game is going to be Military Night next Saturday against Tallahassee FC. And then one more home match on June the 29th against Pensacola FC. As Columbus with 8 points in 5th place in the Gulf Coast Sunshine Conference. Oh, we have a possible breakaway for Columbus United. They do have the numbers. Let's see if they can get something on this possession. Back to that back line is Skirsch. Over to Santana, near side. Kicks it over to Tiki. Defa. And now the back line, along with Garcia, Dominguez. Let's see if Columbus United wants to press. They have played the possession game in this match so far. As Tiki, a nice bicycle kick by Tom Preston, trying to control it is Sheldon Green, and now here comes New Orleans. As these two teams met down in New Orleans on a 3-3 draw. This is the second time these two squads have faced off against each other, and now New Orleans does have an opportunity. Sheldon Green with numbers, and he gets pushed, and they will call a foul. That was a push-off on Jordy Santana, and it looked obvious. It's going to be a free kick coming up for New Orleans. I don't know if that was enough to warrant a yellow card. I don't see the ref pulling out the yellow card. That's just going to be a free kick. That was incidental contact. But that free kick is going to come up just outside the box. So he could try to sail it for the goal. I mean, this is in his range. But let's see who's going to take this free kick. Might be number 10, Ricardo Gomez. They got two players right in front of the ball. As we have got quite the crowd here at Kinnett Stadium. Still plenty of seats if you want to make it down to Kinnett to watch this soccer matchup. And there's a kick in the box, deflected. That's going to be a corner kick. Taking that corner was Juan Pablo Gonzalez, and that will be the third corner coming up for the Jesters. And taking this corner is going to be number 10, the midfielder, Ricardo Gomez. As we are in the 19th minute here of the match. Gomez sails it into the box. There's a kick, and that was deflected off the pole, and that's going to be a goal kick coming up for Columbus. It was a tough angle. I thought I was deflected off the goalkeeper, but that was actually deflected off of the post. So far, 3 corners for New Orleans, and nothing coming up of it. Solid defense by Columbus United in the box. Well, I thought New Orleans was trying to pressure on that. Played off the chest. And it's sails still in play. Kick by Joaquin Suarez. Columbus United just kicks it into the stands, but that's going to be thrown back. They do have a backup just in case, but that's going to have to get thrown back. And look at that. A fan thinks he's got a souvenir, and he just throws it back. There'll be a throw-in coming up as Tiki is going to be taking this throw-in. Back over to Dominguez. Back to the goalkeeper, Alfie Rule. Over on that far side to Garcia. Back over to Dominguez. Dominguez played collegiate soccer at Georgia Southwestern University out of Americus, Georgia. We are all familiar with Georgia Southwestern as they are in the Peach Belt Conference. But Columbus State does not have a men's soccer team, so not all the teams in the Peach Belt have men's soccer. And that is going to go right to the goalkeeper. A little too much mustard on it for number 20, Rafa Kawata. I'll make sure to get that name right. Kawata, who's got 2 goals on the season. One of the top goal scorers on this team. There's a header by Dominguez. That's going to be played off the ankles of Dafa, but New Orleans gets possession. Preston. Back to Preston. Deflected. And here comes the Jesters. Russell Brown. Does he have an opportunity? Looking for the cross. Being challenged. Here comes Brown. And it's taken away by Columbus United. Good defense by United to get right there. Kawata broke that play up. Now Rafa gives it over to Dafa. Now back to Santana. And now Dominguez. Santana. Over to Dafa. Passes it to Dafa. Santana trying to chase it down, and New Orleans got it deflected. That's going to be a throw-in for United. As we are live here at Kinnett Stadium, Georgia, Alabama Sports Live, making our soccer debut on the broadcast. We hope to live stream many more soccer matches in the near future. That throw-in trying to be played by Russell Brown, and it is broken up by Dafa. Back over to Damian Dominguez, who has had a lot of touches here early on in this match as we are approaching the 24th minute. Still scoreless. I feel both teams are just filling each other out, just trying to play possession. They haven't taken too many chances in this match. You had some early scoring opportunities for United. Oh, what a pass over to Tiki, and that is played out, and that was the right decision by Tom Preston to try to make sure, looking for the cross. Here comes an opportunity in the box, and a good play by New Orleans to kick it out there. Header by Dominguez. Trying to stay with the possession, trying to get the slide tackle, and here comes New Orleans on a breakaway. Sheldon Green passes it over inside the middle of the box and scoops it up is Raffi. Back over to Dafa. Here comes United with possession. Over that far side. Dafa, shot in the box and a slide tackle. Still on it is Mohamed Tucker. Trying to get a breakaway. Shot off the crossbar. Actually, that was off the goalpost. That soccer goal is right underneath the goalpost, and that actually hit the goalpost. That's going to be a goal kick coming up for the Jesters. Still scoreless here at Kinnett Stadium in this United Premier Soccer League match between Columbus United FC and the New Orleans Jesters. Here come the Jesters on a breakaway. Let's see if they can press. Oh, good defensive stop by United. United has been playing aggressive on defense. Rangel. Preston. Good touch. Back to Preston. Midfield. He's just going to drop it for that back line, and New Orleans is going to try to reset the possession. Like I mentioned before, United's defense has been solid here in this match. They've had opportunities. The one thing that's really helped New Orleans is they've had opportunities as well, because they've had 3 corner kicks. But Columbus United, right place, right time. There's a nice header. That is a good header by Tiki. But New Orleans comes up back with the possession. Sheldon Green back over to Arita. Rangel is going to kick it back to the goalkeeper. Gomez, a long pass over to the far side of the field. Good defense by Carter Berg. There's a deflection. And it's stolen by United. Skirsch with the steal. And the cross that was intended for a United player is taken by Sheldon Green. He's being challenged. Green does not have the numbers. He drops it back for Rangel. Rangel over to Preston. Over to Suarez. We have not called his number that often in this match. Arita back over to Rangel. Arita's just going to boot it out of there, and there's a header by Dominguez. Dominguez has seen a lot of action tonight. I mean, he's had a couple of headers. He's had a couple of touches. Well, what you want to see is this has been a great match in the first half where both teams playing their defensive game. They've been playing the possession game, not taking a whole lot of chances. Let's see if their strategy picks up. Usually whoever scores that first goal, the game plan changes for both teams. And Dominguez over to Tiki. Tiki's just going to drop it back for Dominguez. There was nothing open in the middle of the field. So now Columbus United is just going to play that back line over to Santana. Nice pass to Skirsch. Skirsch over that near side. The middle of the field for Skirsch. Out of play. That'll be a throw-in coming up for Columbus United. As we have entered the 30th minute here in the first half, Richard Holdrige, Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. New Orleans with a turnover. Gonzalez does not have the numbers, but he has got the middle of the field, and there's Dominguez right there. What a defensive player Damian Dominguez has been all season and in this match. Kawata, middle of the field, and we're going to get another whistle. That's going to be a free kick for Columbus United. As it would look like it was a ticky-tack foul. We've had a couple of fouls in this match, but nothing egregious. We have not seen a yellow card. And definitely have not seen a red card. And speaking of which, they are passing out yellow cards and red cards to the first 500 fans. Here's Dominguez. Kawata. Being double, drops it back to Dominguez. Over to Tiki. Trying to connect with it. Defa. Middle of the field to Santana. Over to Tucker. And that's going to be an offsides. Or that's going to actually be a foul on Columbus United. That'll be a free kick for the Jesters. Actually, that's going to be a throw-in. Jesters. Oh, we got a breakaway. It's Russell Brown. Brown, and a save by Afi Rule. And Brown, I think he might have been offsides. I think the referee stopped the play because it looked like he was offsides. But that was probably the best opportunity for New Orleans in this match. As we are approaching the 33rd minute here in the first half. Still scoreless here at Kennett Stadium. Still plenty of time to come out and see this soccer match here in the NPSL. We've had a busy day in Columbus for outdoor soccer. Fountain City FC was in the championship earlier today at Otis Spencer Stadium. However, they did fall 2-1. Brandon Schwobel on the broadcast does a great job. As he does a great job, Brandon Schwobel, Abby Schwobel for the Columbus Lions YouTube page. As the Columbus Lions, AIF champions last night, defeating the Corpus Christi Tritons 46-20. That's going to be a foul on Columbus United. That's going to be a free kick coming up for the Jesters. Taking this free kick is going to be Ricardo Gomez. He's been in on several corner kicks as well. He does have a power kick. I mean, he's one of their best strikers. So he could try to position it to put it in play. But where it's located, just at midfield, I don't think he's going to sail it to the goalie. Oh, a nice header by Columbus United. Let's see if they can try to get it out. And good header once again. And now Columbus United on the breakaway. Catois trying to race it down is, I want to say that is Tiki that was on that. It might have been Javi Sato. And there's another shot on goal by Columbus United, and it's saved by Chavez. That was on target. There hasn't really been many on-target shots because both defenses have been solid. They've been right place, right time. They have not done a great job creating space. And when New Orleans gets on a breakaway, Columbus United has the numbers back. Here's Sheldon Green on that near side. Green, oh, a nice curl and bend. He gets tripped up by Tiki, and that is going to be a yellow card. That will be our first yellow card of the match. It comes in the 35th minute. And that is on number 15, Lucas Migon, and he is going to have to be careful the rest of the match, because he does not want to pick up a red card, because that would mean that Columbus United would play a man down. And if it does happen in the second half, it could factor in to possible suspension for the first half of the next match. Tom Preston going to take this free kick just outside the box. A left-footed strike. Actually, that's going to be sailing right to the goalkeeper. Rule as Ricardo Gomez took the free kick. Yeah, they fooled everybody on that. I thought Preston was going to take it, and then all of a sudden, Gomez decides to take it. But that sailed into the box, and it was right into the hands of the goalkeeper. Katwa. Back over to Dominguez. Still scoreless here in the 37th minute. Here between Columbus United FC and New Orleans. On Georgia Alabama Sports Live, it's out of play. It's going to be a throw-in coming up for the Jesters. That gets kicked out of play, and another throw-in coming up for New Orleans. Good play defensively by Dafa. Header by the Jesters. And Katwa. Middle of the field. Passes it over to Tiki. Here comes Tiki. Pass to Berg. Berg splits the double team. That's Sato. Back over to Dafa. And that back line is just going to play the possession. Back line has been solid with Garcia, Dominguez, and Mohamed Tucker. And that sails right into the goalkeeper's hands. Let's see if he's going to pooch kick it out of here or just throw it to one of his players. He's just going to tap it over to that defender on that near side. And fighting for the ball, and then a little tap, and here comes Mohamed Tucker. He's got some speed and trying to get a press, trying to stay aggressive, but New Orleans ends up coming back with the possession. Little tap by Gonzalez. Touch over that back line to Pinto. As Arita, near side, Rangel. And we did have some incidental contact away from the ball, but no call. Oh, a nice header. That header is set up perfectly for Sato. And here comes Columbus United on a breakaway. Here comes Katwa, and he gets taken down hard, and the ref is going to – is he going to pull out the yellow card? I think that might have been a clean tackle. And the fans don't like it either. It's going to be a free kick coming up for Columbus United. And there comes the yellow card. That will be a yellow card in the 40th minute for number 10, Ricardo Gomez. And he has got to be careful. That's one of New Orleans' best players. He doesn't agree with the call. So far in this match, we have had 2 yellow cards. One by Columbus in the 35th minute on Tiki, and one in the 40th minute by Gomez. And Rafa is going to take this free kick. Actually, that is going to be taken by Dafa. He gives over to Rafa, near side. Back over to Dafa. The midfielder is getting a lot of action here. Let's see if they can try to press. Back over to Dafa, middle of the field. Over to Santana.
We love being able to go to the different high school, colleges, middle schools to live broadcast sporting events around the area. Georgia Alabama Sports Live appreciates all the fan support, but without a presenting sponsor like Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC in Opelika, none of this would be possible. So we want to say thank you so much. Go to glennsmith.com. That is right, glennsmith.com. See all the inventory and see why people always say, get ready to smile. Thanks, everyone, and thank you to Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC for being our presenting sponsor.
Are you ready to save big on a new GMC?
At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, you can own one of the best-selling vehicles in the USA. The GMC Sierra pickup is discounted up to $14,500 off. The roomy and comfortable GMC Terrains are up to $8,250 off. And the GMC Acadias with 3 spacious rows and seating for 7, discounted up to $8,000 off. At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika,
Get ready to smile. Are you ready to save big on a new GMC?
at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, you can own one of the best-selling vehicles in the USA. The GMC Sierra pickup is discounted up to $14,500 off. The roomy and comfortable GMC Terrains are up to $8,250 off. And the GMC Acadias with 3 spacious rows and seating for 7, discounted up to $8,000 off. At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika,
Get ready to smile. Are you ready to save big on a new GMC?
at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, you can own one of the best-selling vehicles in the USA. The GMC Sierra pickup is discounted up to $14,500 off. The roomy and comfortable GMC Terrains are up to $8,250 off. And the GMC Acadias with 3 spacious rows and seating for 7, discounted up to $8,000 off. At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika,
Get ready to smile.
Welcome back here at halftime where New Orleans leads Columbus United 1-0 as that goal was scored in the 45th minute by Joaquin Juarez. Both teams played a very solid defensive first half, but the Jesters was able to get a back-breaking goal right before halftime. So what adjustments does Columbus United do to come out to try to get the equalizer? Does New Orleans strategy change? Are they going to be aggressive? Because we know in the outdoor soccer game, 2 goals can be demoralizing. Don't forget that we got 2 more home matches for Columbus United FC. Next week is military night, as if you are active duty or a retiree, that you can get a free ticket. Just put the promo code UNITE4TROOPS on the Columbus United website. That's ColumbusUnitedFC.com. That's how you can get tickets to next week's match, where they will take on Tallahassee FC. And then the finale is going to be Saturday, June the 29th, where they will take on Pensacola FC. So we got one more half of soccer to go here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Is this soccer match in the NPSL, the National Premier Soccer League? Earlier today in the UPSL, Fountain City FC fell in their championship game down at Otis Spencer Stadium 2-1. And then last night, the Columbus Lions ended up winning the AIF championship, defeating the Corpus Christi Tritons 46-20. Back-to-back champions. Congratulations to Coach Damian Daniels, owner Richard Masala, Casey Smith, Lee Snow, the general manager, as Thrift Behringer, Rick Beach, and myself on the call. And now we are back at it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live for this soccer match, making our soccer debut on Georgia Alabama Sports Live between Columbus United and the Jesters of New Orleans. As we got another 45 left to go as both teams get ready. They are switching sides of the field. Columbus United is going to be going right to left on your TV screen. It looks like taking this kickoff is going to be Javi Zato. And United with the possession. And we might see some subs as well. Here comes Dominguez on that far side. Dominguez just sails one. And that it gets kicked. Still in play. There's an opportunity, and that goes out of play, and that is going to be a goal kick. Unless, did the ref signal that it was deflected off New Orleans? No, that's going to be a goal kick. And it was really just the way that the players were backing up. Tommy Munoz actually is into the game for Columbus United as a sub. And we got another goal kick. Trying to be controlled by New Orleans. That is kicked out of play. I think that was just a delay. That's going to be a throw-in coming up for Columbus. Over to Dominguez. Back out to Rule, the goalkeeper, out of the box. Dominguez has had a lot of touches in this match. Over to Bruno Garcia. Got Zato. Actually into the game. That is out of play. That's Emil Skirsch, who's wearing number 17. And now Mohamed Tucker is going to throw it in for Columbus United. Garcia, midfield. Playing it is Katwa. That is Munoz. Back over to Garcia. Can Columbus United get the equalizer? There's Munoz, far side. Just boots a pass over to Berg. Berg trying to control it, staying with it. No call. New Orleans comes up with the possession. Plenty of space for Gonzalez. Racing to it, trying to get it is Zato. There's a collision, a 50-50 ball, and here comes Columbus United on the press. Back over to Berg, near side. Berg looking for Zato. Zato, the leading goal scorer. Oh, that was kicked away, and New Orleans does not have the numbers. It's taken by Dominguez. Dominguez with space. Middle of the field. Berg trying to get it. We have a collision. Are they going to call a foul? That is going to be a foul on Columbus United. It'll be a free kick coming up for the Jesters. New Orleans leads 1-0 here in the second half. The only goal was a goal in the 45th minute. Oh, a nice header by Columbus United. Trying to get the pass over to Tucker. Munoz with the touch. Back over for Tucker. A nice header for Zato. Zato with space. Where they're going to call offsides. Or did the ref say that that was out of play? Because that's going to be a throw-in coming up for New Orleans. That ball might have been out of play, and the ref spotted that right on that angle. Still no space for New Orleans. Oh, he saves it. A good job by Bruno Garcia to save that one. Tucker over to Zato. Still in play. Munoz with space. Munoz over that near side. Katwa. Katwa with the double, looking for the cross. Good touch. Zato with the cross. There's a shot. Oh, just off the mark. Still in play, in the box. Header. Coming out with it. Tucker to that back line. Berg. Zato looking for the cross. Zato with some speed, and it's deflected by Sinclair. Goes out of play. It's going to be a corner kick coming up for Columbus. Over to Tucker. Tucker, left-footed strike, header in the box. Still on it, punched out by the goalkeeper. And the refs do call it. It was contact. Might have been on Columbus United, and it's going to be, well, it looks like it's just going to be a goal kick. But the refs in that first half have not called that many fouls. There were 2 yellow cards in the first half. A yellow card on Lucas Migon, and then a yellow card on Ricardo Gomez for New Orleans. As he sails one to midfield, trying to race forward, and New Orleans comes up with the possession. Almost a slide tackle. Good defense, and there's no space for New Orleans, but they're looking for the cross. Russell Brown drops it back to Preston. pressing. That back line for Sinclair. Oh, and a deflection, and Columbus trying to stay with it, and New Orleans with the possession. There's a cross into the box. Their header just high of the net. And that's going to be a goal kick for United. So at halftime, got to go down and catch the fans. And, they got the food trucks out there. They're selling the merchandise. And it was just great just to run into some fans. And they're supporting Columbus United with the jerseys. And they're selling the memorabilia, the paraphernalia out there. This is really a cool product just to build this brand, outdoor soccer here in the Fountain City. We're trying to build something special here for Columbus United. Catois. A nice pass, and now they have numbers. Here comes Catois with a breakaway pass, and they had to make sure that they were not offsides. Oh, and Sato might have had an opportunity, but he might have been offsides. That might have been just too far from his reach, and it's going to be a goal kick coming up for New Orleans as we are in the 53rd minute of the match. Here comes Munoz. Drops it back. Dominguez. Munoz with the touch. Drops it over to Garcia. That defensive back line just playing keep away. Can Columbus respond with the equalizer? Already down 1-0 to the New Orleans Jesters. Second time they have faced off here in the NPSL season. Sales. Oh, and he regroups, looking for the cross. And there's right in front of Juan Pablo Chavez for the save. He had to position himself right where he needed to be, but there was no help in the middle of the field. And Columbus United has got to create space if they want to try to get some scoring opportunities. Oh, there's a slide tackle, and here's an opportunity. They do have the numbers. Here they come. Catois. And New Orleans ends up getting it. They get out of dodge, and now New Orleans on the breakaway. There's a cross sailing all the way to that far side. Being challenged. Looking for the cross. There's a shot on goal and a save by Afi Rule. He timed that one perfectly. Another big save by Rule. It's keeping Columbus United in this game. It seems like in that first half, New Orleans had the scoring opportunities. Columbus United did control possession, but they just could not come up with anything as far as scoring opportunities. Oh, and there's a takedown. They're going to let him play. Here comes New Orleans on a breakaway. Over into the box. It's a 50-50 ball, and it's scooped up by Rule. And United wants to go fast. Here's Tucker. Back over to Dafa. Now Skirsch with it. 50-50, and sliding to it is Chavez. Looked like Zato and Chavez were trying to race for it. If it was a bad deflection, the goalkeeper was out of the box. That could have been danger zone for New Orleans. Still in play. And that is still in play. A good save by number 11, Juan Pablo Gonzalez. Good defense by Columbus to get it out of the danger zone, and a nice pass for Rafael Catois. Oh, and that would have been perfect, but a good defensive play by Eric Gunyera. And now the Jesters with possession as we are approaching the 57th minute here in the second half. Goes out of play, and we're going to get a throw in for New Orleans. Nope, that's going to be a throw in for, New Orleans. Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. Like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Richard Holdrige here on the broadcast presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. Get ready to smile. Columbus United fans are hoping they could be smiling if they can get an equalizer here. Taking a deflection, another header. Can Columbus United create the space they need for a breakaway? Their defense has played very aggressive, and they get a takeaway. That was just taken down by Evans Dafa, and he has just been physical. Just one of those players that Coach Teach has been giving him a lot of playing time. He's trying to build a brand in the first year in the NPSL. Columbus United just trying to establish a culture. But soccer has been widely popular here in Columbus. And there's no call. Mohamed Tucker's just going to play on. Back over to Tucker, midfield. Tucker drops it to the back line to Munoz. And back over to the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper throws it over to Juarez. Oh, and he had to do a spin move. Fancy footwork by Sky Sinclair. And New Orleans is just going to keep the possession here. Header does not work in Columbus's favor as New Orleans keeps possession. Looking for the cross. Middle of the field, trying to get space. Good takeaway by Zato. Now over to Tucker. Mohamed Tucker has been one of the bright spots for Columbus United in that back line. Played collegiate soccer at VCU, a place that Coach Brett Teach has also coached at. Here comes Dafa, and he gets taken down, and that's going to be, the ref's going to say play on. Tommy Munoz, plenty of space. Passes over to Dafa. Dafa, good touch over to Mohamed Tucker. Tucker keeps it in bounds. Tucker trying to split the defenders, back over to Dafa. Dafa to Munoz. Well, that midfield has been playing aggressive. Oh, that was a little too high for Emil Skirsch. Goes out of play, and it's going to be a goal kick coming up for New Orleans as we have approached the 60th minute here live at Kennett Stadium. Columbus United FC and New Orleans in the Gulf Coast Sunshine Conference. Also, happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there, as this is Father's Day weekend. It is Soccer Dad's Night, as they did have the crossbar challenge at halftime. The winner received free tickets to the next soccer match. So congratulations to the winner. It was a challenge with dads and their kids. As we have great soccer programs here in Columbus to include Concord Fire South and CYSC up in Harris County Soccer, Sousa, Auburn Soccer. Oh, nice play by Dafa. Dafa trying to split the defenders, gives it over to Garcia, drops it over to Munoz. But that back line's been getting a lot of touches. But they have got to come up with some offensive strategy to try to get an equalizing goal. Here's Tucker. Tucker races, looking for the cross, and it's deflected. Victor Mayrink with the defensive stop. And it's going to be a throw-in coming up for Columbus United. Tucker looking for Zato. Back over to Dafa. Munoz, middle of the field, looking for the pass. Trying to stay with it. Are they going to call that a corner? Is that going to be a goal kick? And New Orleans says it's going to be a goal kick. He knows that he did not touch it. He's clapping his hands. He's saying, yeah, that did not touch me. That's a huge play because Columbus United could have set up their offense on a set piece after a corner kick, but now it's going to be a goal kick for New Orleans. And now Columbus United is going to have to regroup. We do have a sub coming into the game for Columbus United. As that sub is Josiah Fontenot. Still 1-0. New Orleans leading Columbus United. There's a battle for 5th place. Columbus United in 5th place with 8 points. New Orleans has got 7 points. They are currently in 6th place. Garcia to Munoz. Over to that far side, looking for the cross. Fontenot trying to race it, and there's some incidental contact. They're gonna blow the whistle. That was incidental contact, but the two bodies colliding. The refs are gonna call that just about every time, especially when it's so close to the goal. They don't want to take any chances on possible momentum shifters. But does New Orleans play conservative up by 1 goal? I tell you, if I'm Columbus United, I would go on the attack. You've got to get that equalizing goal. You at least got to get out of the match with a point. And I'm wondering if Coach Brett Teach is going to think that strategy. But this has been a solid New Orleans Jesters team that Columbus United has played. They have very good defenders. I believe that goal in the 45th minute might have just been a fluke goal because it was off a corner kick. And Columbus wishes they could get that one back, but that's why you got to regroup and try to make adjustments in the second half. But clearly the strategy has changed with New Orleans up by 1 goal. Here come the Jesters. Good defensive wall and a steal by Dominguez. Trying to stay with it. Is that going to stay in bounds or is that going to go out of play? Nope, that's going to be deflected off Kadwata, and that is going to be a throw-in coming up for New Orleans. Yeah, they're going to call that a throw-in on New Orleans. So it'll be over into Columbus territory. Columbus can try to get aggressive, maybe get a turnover. Yeah, he wants to throw it far away from the goal as possible. There's a header by Dafa. Dafa's going to race it down. Back over to Tucker. Tucker over to Garcia. Center field. Garcia passes to Munoz. Munoz, little tapper back to Garcia. Garcia with plenty of space. Takes a couple of dribbles. Gives it over to Tucker. Tucker looking for the cross. Tucker in the middle of the box and a header. Still in play. United with still possession. United trying to get a scoring chance. Dominguez over to Garcia. Garcia's going to dribble it. He's got space. Middle of the box. Good stop by New Orleans. There's a takedown, no call. They're going to play on. And New Orleans ends up getting out of dodge. Sheldon Green with a big defensive stop. And a quick throw-in by Columbus. They waste no time. Back over to Garcia. Dafa. Dominguez. Over to Tucker. Plays it off the chest. Tucker stays with it. Oh, good control. Tucker trying to split the defenders. And New Orleans catches a big break. Now they got a counterattack. Oh, what a defensive play by Columbus. And we've got a player down, and you can hear it from the fans. They are not happy. Bruno Garcia took a fall, and he is still down. And the fans are not agreeing with that. No call. Should have been a yellow card. The refs did not make the call. It's going to be a free kick coming up for Columbus. By the way, the first 500 fans here of the match get a yellow card and a red card. And they were nice enough to give me a yellow card and a red card. So I'm going to have fun with my kids later this weekend. Yeah, you do something bad, I'm throwing up this yellow card, and then if you do it again, you're getting the red card. They do a great job with the promotions here. I mean, Wednesday was Ted Lasso night. I mean, who doesn't love Ted Lasso? Great soccer sitcom starring Jason Sudeikis. The fictional Richmond AFC out of the Premier League. And that's the thing is the culture, the atmosphere. Soccer is a worldwide sport. I mean, when you live in a city like Columbus, a melting pot, you got Fort Moore, you got military members from all across the country that they love soccer. And not just MLS. I know my cousin loves Bundesliga, the Premier League. If you want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and watch Newcastle United and Manchester United, Manchester City, Liga MX. But here in this country, Major League Soccer is, we got Atlanta United. They've had some history of success winning an MLS Cup in 2018. And soccer is growing in this country with Lionel Messi at Inter Miami. He clearly is the most popular player in the MLS. Although as a soccer fan, I would love to see Christian Pulisic in the MLS. He's probably not coming anytime soon. But we cannot wait. 2 years from now, the World Cup is coming to Atlanta as the host teams are United States, Canada, and Mexico. All right, so they do play on. Garcia is out there. That's a good sign that he was able to get up. And you definitely don't want to play a man down. So he is up and looks like he is going to be okay. Here's Garcia. Drops it over to Dafra. To Munoz. Dominguez. He has really been the MVP on defense. Munoz has had so many touches. Oh, what a header to Tucker. Tucker has got speed. He's able to, that's his signature move in the box. Oh, and it's just out of play. And New Orleans on a counterattack. I tell you, Mohamed Tucker with the cross had a golden opportunity. If there was a player there, that would have been the equalizer. And he has got to play his game. He is fast. He is quick up that line. You got to get the ball to Mohamed Tucker, and you got to get him space because he has got speed up that line, and that is a huge strength for Mohamed Tucker, who is a defender, but he plays more like a striker. Looks like Tucker is playing midfield. And New Orleans deflection goes out of play. It's a throw-in coming up for Columbus United. We are in the 71st minute of the match. New Orleans leads Columbus United 1-0 on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Like the Facebook page. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. We've got another substitution. Caleb Evans coming into the game for New Orleans. Goalie out of the box. Out of play. Throw-in coming up for the Jesters. So next week, we've got Columbus United FC back at Kinnett Stadium for a military night as they will take on Tallahassee FC. I'm sure they got a lot of soccer players from Florida State. Comes a throw-in coming up for Columbus United. Over to Dominguez. Garcia. Garcia with space. Dafra. Munoz, far side. Munoz being marked. Back over to Dominguez. Can Columbus United come up with the equalizer? Here in the 73rd minute. Staying with it. Out of play. That's going to be a corner kick. That will be a corner kick coming up for Columbus United. And no question, taking this corner is going to be Emil Skirsch. He's going to want this. New Orleans building the wall. Here we go. Going to sail it into the box. Right-footed strike. It's going to hook right. Out of reach. Plays it on. Dafra. Back over to Tucker. Tucker playing that back line. Left-footed pass. Little too much mustard. Oh, what a pass, but he gets taken down, and that is clearly a foul. He just took his jersey and yanked him down. That is going to be a free kick in the box. And really, where it was, this should be a penalty kick. I'm not sure where the rules are when it comes to it's in the box. So this is going to be a penalty kick for a chance to tie the match. It's going to be taken by Javier Zato, the leading goal scorer for Columbus United. This is going to be huge here. Let's go. Zato with his warm-ups. Ref blows the whistle. Zato. And it's in! Columbus United ties the match. 1-1. Javier Zato with a penalty kick for the equalizer in the 75th minute. And Columbus United comes back to tie the match. And that's exactly what they needed to get back into this match. Header by Tucker. I wonder if the strategy changes for Columbus United. Now that it's tied 1-1, do they want to try to get aggressive to get the go-ahead goal? Goalie out of the box. Back over to Garcia. Dafra. Oh, almost lost it. Staying with it and trying to race it down is Sheldon Green. Green looking for the cross, and what a save by Alfie Rule, punching it out. It's going to be a corner coming up for New Orleans, but Alfie Rule went up to get that one and punch it out. That might have been a sure goal by Sheldon Green. And now taking this corner is Ricardo Gomez. He's got the assist on the only goal by New Orleans. It's in the box, a little too high. There's a header. Still playable. Out of play. That is going to be another corner kick for New Orleans. As it looked like the scoreboard just went out of the stadium. They got it back on. As it's great to see all these sponsors that really believe in a product like this, outdoor soccer here in Columbus. It works. There's been a lot of great fan support, a good crowd tonight. Approximately, I would say it's about 1,000 fans. But here comes another corner coming up for New Orleans. Garcia is going to take it on the opposite side. It's going to sail with the right-footed strike. It's going to hook left. Columbus building the wall. New Orleans knows that they could score a goal here on a corner. We do have a little bit of a delay as the clock continues. And I'm wondering how much extra time they're going to put on after 90, because we did have an injury delay, and they have a little bit of a delay here. And I'm not sure what the refs. This actually might be a heat timeout. So that's basically what's happening here. They're gonna continue playing on, and a little tussling there, but you gotta go back to your benches. Yeah, you don't want to see that. But this is a heat timeout. We will keep it here because the clock is continuing to run. So we'll probably have extra time put on the clock after 90. But we do want to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers out here. It is Soccer Dad's night. As I myself am a soccer dad, my youngest last season played for CYSC. And I am also honored to be calling soccer once again, as this will be the first time on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I've had the privilege of calling soccer for the GIAA.TV for the single A, double A, and triple A classifications for boys and girls soccer. And then last season had the privilege of calling the Columbus State women's soccer team. And then for the 2 years ago, the first two seasons, the first and two only seasons for the Columbus Rapids, which is a much different game, by the way. Indoor soccer is completely different from the outdoor game. All right, we're in a heat timeout. We're going to go ahead and take a break as the clock continues to run. It's 1-1 here at Kinnett Stadium between Columbus United FC and the New Orleans Jesters, right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. We'll be back.
Are you ready to save big on a new GMC?
At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, you can own one of the best-selling vehicles in the USA. The GMC Sierra pickup is discounted up to $14,500 off. The roomy and comfortable GMC Terrains are up to $8,250 off. And the GMC Acadias with 3 spacious rows and seating for 7, discounted up to $8,000 off. At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika,
Get ready to smile.
Back here at Kennett Stadium as the clock continues to run, we're in the 82nd minute, but that was a heat timeout. It will be another corner kick coming up for the Jesters. Ricardo Gomez will take this corner. Don't forget the next home match for Columbus United FC is next Saturday against Tallahassee FC. It is military night. Gomez getting ready to take this corner. Yeah, we got another delay. They're tussling for position. Here we go. Gomez, it's in the box. Header, and that's cleared out to the back line, but New Orleans has an opportunity just wide, and that shot was not what New Orleans wanted. There was not a whole lot of space. But Columbus United gets a huge break, and it's going to be a goal kick coming up for United. Middle of the field. Header. Oh, they're just racing for that. Over to Tucker. Tucker, good touch. Good pass. Over to Zato. Goalkeeper is just going to hang on to the ball. Let's see if New Orleans has got something as they try to respond after giving up that penalty kick by Javi Zato, which is his 3rd goal of the season. That leads the team. Oh, nice spin move. Can Columbus get out a break? There's Zato, but they don't have the numbers, but they do have possession. Munoz back over to Garcia. Over to Dominguez. Garcia with space. Over to Tucker. Tucker is just going to race the line. There you go. He's got open space. Tucker with the cross and a header in the box. Still in play. Oh, if he just turned around, that could have been a huge play for Columbus United. Trying to get some momentum, trying to race for it, racing it down and jumping up to grab it is Juan Pablo Chavez. Here in the 84th minute of the match, all tied at 1 here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Garcia, United looking to press. Back over to Rule. Rule looking for Zato. Zato with the touch. There's a pass. He could race it down. It's Fontenot. Fontenot could probably stay with it, but now New Orleans, he wanted to try to avoid the offsides, and looks like he's going to get called for offsides. No, the refs are going to let him play on. Over to Gomez. Back to Chavez. Chavez over to Artia. Artia. A little too much. There's a header by Tucker. Playing off the chest is Gunyera. Back over to Dominguez. Dominguez is going to clear it out. Slide it into it. Fontenot with the touch. Oh, we got a foot race, and he gets taken down. That is a clear foul. That should be a yellow card. As taken down on the play was number 6, a new sub that came in for Columbus United, Jeb Scarborough. He had the momentum. He had a breakaway. They are not going to give him a yellow card. Are they? Yes, I see the ref. He's got a yellow card. I got myself a yellow card up here, and I'm holding it. And that is going to be a yellow card. The second yellow card comes in the 86th minute. And here comes Garcia with space. Back over to Dafa. Dominguez. Over to Garcia. Bruno Garcia. Back over to Dominguez. The VCU Ram. It's also where Coach Brett Teach coached. Fontenot looking for the cross. Back over to Scarborough. Munoz. Dafa. Over to Tucker. Tucker, what a move by Tucker. He gets tripped up. That's going to be a foul. That is clearly a foul, and the fans have got, and these cards do come in handy. The fans that receive the yellow cards are showing them in the stands. And that is such a creative tool for Columbus United to issue these yellow and red cards as souvenirs. And I know they have come in handy. Free kick coming up for the leading goal scorer, Javi Zato. Can he try to hook this in the goal? The angle where he's at, he may try. He might get it off a deflection. Here we go. It's hooking. Header in the box. Out of play. And that was right to Jordy Santana. But it's going to be a goal kick. Just inches away from taking the lead. Columbus United was down 1 goal. It was a goal that was scored in the 45th minute by Joaquin Suarez. And Columbus United was able to respond on a penalty kick by Javi Zato. Little contact. Still with it. United with possession. I mean, the goal is here is to definitely get a point, but you might want to get greedy here and try to go for the win. I mean, you got a talented team. They could get aggressive and try to get the goal, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to give up a goal here. So does Columbus United play conservative and just get out of here with the point? Or do they try to go for the win? I say go for the win. Give the fans something they want to remain undefeated at home. That's really a goal that is at stake here for Columbus United. But you got to remember, they were down in this match. Coming out of here with a point would be a huge break for Columbus United. And it would actually keep them ahead of New Orleans in the standings. This is the second match of the week. So Columbus United did play on Wednesday. They defeated Pensacola FC 1-0. On June the 1st, they had their home opener. Over 2,000 fans watched them defeat Naples FC 2-0. And this is the third home match for Columbus United. As we are approaching the 90th minute here in the match. Tucker over to Zato, and that is going to go out of play. Throw in coming up for Columbus United. I think Tucker is going to take this throw in. I tell you, Tucker is just one of those players. He gets the ball, and if he goes up the field, he could create space and turn on the Jets. And that is hard to stop. And he has had many opportunities for the cross, and that's really that's his game, is playing the outside. Zato really likes to play the middle of the field. That's deflected, but United still with it. Fontenot in the box for the cross, deflection. United keeps possession. Garcia back over to Munoz. Over to Skirsch. Dominguez. Deflected. Still in play. Dominguez controls it but slips on the turf. And you got to remember, Kinnett Stadium is turf. And we were out there for the pregame show earlier today. That sails like a punt in football. American football, that is. Which, by the way, we are a couple of months away from high school football. We'll be calling games here at Kinnett Stadium. We've got some incredible games played at Kinnett Stadium and Otis Spencer Stadium this season. All right. We have entered the 90th minute, and so they've put extra time on. I'm going to say there's about 10 minutes of extra time on the clock. The clock is stopped at 90. So we are in extra time. Medea. Fontenot. Back over to Santana. That back line for Dominguez. Garcia with space. Little touch. Zato. Nice move by Zato, turning up the field in New Orleans. Defensive play. Zato hits the turf, asking for the call. There's a header. Can New Orleans get out of the danger zone? Dominguez over to that back line. Back over to Garcia. 1-1 here in the 90th minute with extra time. Back over to Garcia. Can Columbus United get the go-ahead goal? Zato. Middle of the field. Oh, what a pass. That was intended for Garcia, but Zato plays it. Back over to Dafra. Comes Fontenot. Fontenot racing, looking for the cross. Fontenot, a little too high out of play, and it's going to be a goal kick for New Orleans. As the clock here in the stadium says 90 minutes, but the clock here, and a big shout out to Chris Gates, our producer, who's got a running clock. So we are in the 94th minute, but we don't know how much extra time has been put on. I know the PA announcer does announce it, but we couldn't hear it. But I want to say there was about 10 minutes extra time because we did have an injury and we had a water break. The refs did stop the match briefly because of the heat. Even though the sun is already down, it's still very hot here, and the players needed a break. It's going to be a throw-in coming up. So both teams play in the National Premier Soccer League. It was founded in 2002. It's a member of the United States Adult Soccer Association. It's got 4 regions and 14 conferences as these two teams play in the Gulf Coast Sunshine Conference. Fontenot, left-footed strike just off the mark, a couple of inches. That might have gone in. There wasn't a whole lot of space, but diving for it was Juan Pablo Chavez. But that was a good strike by Fontenot. Fontenot coming in here in the second half as a sub. As Tony Reese from WTVM still out here getting the highlights. You can catch the highlights of this match on WTVM later tonight. A big shout out to Tony Reese and Jonathan Hoppy. Also Jack Patterson and Tyler Redmond of WRBL. They were down at Otis Spencer Stadium earlier today for Fountain City FC as they lost in their championship game. And also Tyler Redmond is in the box. Oh, wow. As Tyler Redmond also at Otis Spencer earlier today for the Michael Williams football camp. The defensive end for the Georgia Bulldogs, the former Hardaway Hawk, also was featured on Sports Visions. You can catch Thrift Behringer and DJ Jones Mondays and Thursdays from 4 to 6 on Smooth RB 92.1. Here comes New Orleans on a counter. New Orleans on the breakaway, getting space. Gunyera shot just off the mark. And was that deflected? I think the goalkeeper, Alfie Rule, is saying no. And that's going to be a goal kick. Yeah, Rule is telling the refs, I didn't touch it. And you got to really get, oh, there's some push in there. The refs are going to let that play. Here comes Columbus United. Do they have an opportunity here? Tied 1-1 here in the 97th minute. Here comes Skirsch. Pass over to Tucker. Tucker with the cross. Nope, he's going to position it back over to Zato. Dafra, middle of the field. Dafra over to Tucker. Tucker, race it down. Oh, and it's kicked out of play. That's going to be a corner coming up for Columbus United. So as the time winding down here in the match, as I'm on the PSL, I almost said NISL. Not anymore. The NPSL website to see the overtime rules. Or are they just going to let this match end in a tie? We'll find out. Here comes the corner kick in the box. Header. Some players just jawing and tussling and get taken down. And New Orleans ends up getting it out of play. Over to Tucker. Tucker, a little too far out of play. It's going to be a goal kick coming up in the 98th minute of the match. What a crowd here at Kinnett Stadium, too. The fans definitely got their money's worth. This has been an incredible match between two talented soccer teams in the National Premier Soccer League. And how fitting would this be? They both had a 3-3 tie down in New Orleans. And they could end up leaving this match both tied. But both teams fighting, trying to get that go-ahead goal. Because they want to get out of here with 3 points and not just 1 point. Because that would be huge. That could be a difference of jumping the next team in the standings. I want to say that's Tallahassee. That's actually the team that Columbus United plays next. Over to Tucker, and we get another whistle. And the fans don't like the call. That's going to be a free kick coming up for New Orleans. And, of course, taking the free kick is going to be Ricardo Gomez. He's already got an assist. He is their striker. He'll take the corners and he will take the free kicks as we are entering the 100th minute of the match here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Look at that wall. That is a wall for perfection. Oh, what a header. Good defensive play by Columbus United. That was sailing for the head of Dafra, and he was able to just get it out. But still, New Orleans trying to keep it in play. Out of play, and is that going to be a goal kick? Yes, it is. Goal kick coming up for Columbus United. I mean, we did have a lengthy break. We had an injury timeout, and we had a heat break. So it looked like more than 10 minutes have been put on the clock for extra time. Oh, what a bicycle kick. I love seeing the bicycle kick, and that was textbook. Trying to get the jersey number of New Orleans to try to find out who did that bicycle kick. Yeah, that was number 4, Jair Artia, the midfielder for New Orleans. course, New Orleans has very popular sports franchises, the New Orleans Pelicans and the New Orleans Saints. Remember, they also had a AAA team, the Zephyrs, a long time ago. There's in the box, and it's saved by Rule. Or saved by Chavez. Now here comes New Orleans on the breakaway. They have numbers. Trying to get back, playing aggressive. Are they going to call? Yeah, that's going to be a yellow card. That is going to be a yellow card on Javier Zato. That is only the 4th yellow card of the match. Both teams with 2 yellow cards apiece, and Gomez with the free kick. Columbus has got to come up with a defensive stop. They want to try to get out of this match with a point. It's in the box. Playing with it. Oh, what a deflection. Huge deflection by Mohamed Tucker, sacrificing his body. It looked like that was going to be a possible goal opportunity for Juan Pablo Gonzalez. And it looks like that will do it. So both teams come out of this match with a point. As Columbus United clawed their way back, they were down 1-0 after the first half, a demoralizing goal in the 45th minute by Joaquin Suarez. But then the leading goal scorer, Javi Zato, ended up getting the equalizer on a penalty kick. And now Columbus United has 9 points. And New Orleans has 8 points. Columbus United remains in 5th place in the Gulf Coast Sunshine Conference in the NPSL. And they will face Tallahassee FC next Saturday, 7 o'clock here at Kinnett Stadium for Military Night. And then they will close out the season June the 29th against Pensacola FC. Well, this is our first soccer broadcast on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I got to say, it's been a success. And just want to give a shout out to Chris Gates, our producer extraordinaire. Without Chris, none of this would have been possible. He did a phenomenal job on the broadcast. I want to thank Thrift Behringer for joining me on the pregame show on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Coach Brett Teach, and we also had J.D. Hester on the show, and it's been a fun night. So for Chris Gates, I'm Richard Holdrige saying so long from Kinnett Stadium. Once again, Columbus United and New Orleans. They end up finishing this match in a 1-1 draw, and Columbus United gets a point. They are still in 5th place. And they will take on Tallahassee FC next Saturday. So good night from Kinnett Stadium, and we will see you next time.
Are you ready to save big on a new GMC?
At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, you can own one of the best-selling vehicles in the USA. The GMC Sierra pickup is discounted up to $14,500 off. The roomy and comfortable GMC Terrains are up to $8,250 off. And the GMC Acadias with 3 spacious rows and seating for 7, discounted up to $8,000 off. At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika,
Get ready to smile.
Thank you for watching the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC. You're ready to smile.